gives you is direction. And that's what we are supposed to be doing to life, giving direction to everything we get involved in. Darkness breeds blindness. When there's darkness, one of the first things that darkness produces is blindness. And blindness grows to stagnation. It keeps you in a place. But the moment light comes, it gives you direction. And direction gives you production. And that is what we are supposed to be doing daily in our lives. Anywhere we find ourselves, we should be direction. And after direction comes productiveness. How can you be light and you are blind? How can you be light and you're stagnant? You don't do things that produces the next level of anything. See the same story, the same confession, the same way of life. No, let's be light. When you become light, you will give direction to everything you do. And then when you are directive, you'll be productive. And I tell you, the best will come if we think like the light, behave like the light, and live like the light. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. If you want to succeed in life, show me what you're doing today. If I take somebody and give somebody a system to run, and for 1 year you've not been able to grow that system the way you met it, and you tell me you want to go and fulfill something, you don't have a future. The thing you are given to do is a sign of the vision you have tomorrow. Whether it's not your own, translate that thing to look like where you are going to. Joseph is a clear example. He had a vision for the future, but look at it. His brothers were in the field. He was at home helping his father. He was useful to his father, so he went errands for his father. He went to meet the brothers. They sold him with the Potiphar's house. He became effective to Potiphar. He became the leader of Egypt. He showed him capacity. So there is nothing secret about greatness. What are the things you grew in a place that profited the system while you were there? If you check nothing, so why do you now feel that you will succeed outside the place where somebody was guiding you? It's easier to be guided and succeed than to guide yourself. So it's clear, whatever you did not do from where you are, you can't do it outside any other place. So if you want to start building from where you are. Show life that you have a destiny ahead of you. So if you want to grow something in the future, start growing whatever you're involved in. That's what I did. That's what Joseph did. That's what David did. All these men you see in scriptures, they help other systems to grow. Then God gave them their own throne. You can't inherit a throne when you have not begged for another. We need to build strong awareness in our community. If not, people will just not fulfill their true potentials in life and end up having privileges of doing certain things in life and get satisfied about it. Somebody has a royal life but one wants to live like a street girl or like a street boy. You have a royal destiny and you want to live like a street person. So we don't have proper awareness culture. So you can see people with destinations don't have the proper support system. They have destructive systems all around the place. People don't know what to invest their time on. They don't know what to do because there's no awareness. So you see, until this awareness comes to town, we will still have less growth in a lot of phases in life, not just some part. Every area of human life, we need to get back awareness. And awareness is super powerful, and it will take a lot of details to access, which we don't have today. We don't read, we don't observe, we don't ask questions, we don't spend time to study. So awareness is a complete program. And I pray that this will help somebody who has a destiny and wants to succeed in life. Don't run faster. Run at the pace of where you're going to. You're not meant to change anybody. You can't change anyone. Change is a personal decision. Change can come through circumstances. Allow them. Time will tell. I don't convince people anymore. That's what I want to do. Go ahead and do it. It's time that will tell in your life. You're not in a place to change anybody. Just if you are a superior, rebuke and correct. That's your business. You're a leader. You have to rebuke people and correct them and be an example. That's what a leader should do to people. But changing them is not in your place to change anybody. I don't care if you spoke to the person and he was angry. That's not your business. How they react should not be your problem. You react well. You who is offended, you react well. Because it's your action that matters, not theirs. How you behave should be your concern, not how people behave. Your behavior is your choice. I can only come to tell you what I feel you need to do. But to go back and change is your choice still. One of the symbols you need in a woman is morality, how she behaves. We must get that right. The character of a woman is more important to me than her spiritual life. Because if she has a healthy character, she will grow spiritually. You don't need to force her to pray, she will pray. You don't need to force her to come to church, she will go to church. You don't need to. So when you build your expectations on speaking in tongues, I'm not saying it's bad. Expectations with the cleavages of some level of spiritual cliches that somebody brings into the, and you're not checking certain basic character definition, even to the man's life. If man is very spiritual, he's talking by, it's always with a Bible, with a book. He looks decent, but he has very strong character issues. That's already a big problem, a huge deficiency in a man's life. So one, the moment to come moment of crisis are decisions that would have been taken long ago to be avoided. If we take these decisions correctly and stop seeing people from the surface and see people to their inner person, then we would surely make these corrections. And two, the conversations that they have may be corrective, may be commandful, may be constructive. You see, when a lady is not in purpose, but if she's in character, she will get into purpose. The woman is not already, she's not in purpose, she does not have character. That's a big crisis. So that character placement will now take her into purpose. You see, there's a time where your prayer life will not be what I need. I only need your character in my life. Peace. I don't need your, whether you are born again, whether your spirit filled. I just need you to be a decent behaved person. I just need you to be quiet. I just need you to reason. I just need you to talk well. I just need you to understand that we're in ministry and there's certain things we don't do. But if you met a girl who was heavily spiritual, but you did not check the character formation of that lady, you are still going to have crisis in ministry. God told him, do you know why I raised David? Because he was trying to defend Israel. No matter the oil of promises on his head, it was when he started standing for God and Israel that his true potential came out. And I use myself as an example. One of the major reasons why I prospered where I said, because I hated the way people were treating the work. I hated it. So I told myself, I will grow this work. I never had conversations with a man to tell him I feel about the work, but I didn't like the way people were treating the work. But you see, today, those who are in a system where people maltreat a system or depart from systems, they either have conversations that kills the system, because for this thing this person has done, I will make sure this system grows. There are very few persons around systems, families like that anymore. David's nature is what everybody needs today in our lives. We don't need people who have reasons to destroy you or who have reasons to leave you. You know, that somebody has a reason to destroy you or reasons to leave you, reasons to go against you, reasons to fight against you. We need the David's nature, men who have assignments to fulfill so that favor can be activated. Whatever you have is a gift God gave to you. If it's anointing, it's God's grace. It's not yours. It can be taken from you. The reason why you don't listen is because you don't know the importance of hearing. If you know the importance of hearing, you will listen. Because you may not know how powerful advice is until you get into crisis. And if you don't open yourself to be spoken to, you will live a very regrettable life. Always have someone in your life who corrects you. I'm not saying God, Holy Ghost, a human being. Paul talks about to be accountable for. You must have that in your life. The moment you have that, that ego thing will die. Gifts are not thrones, they are for expressions. So if anything you have in life is for humanity, It shouldn't make you proud. You should be grateful that God is using you to meet people's life, to lead people. It's a privilege. It's not a right. So there's nothing to be proud about. And if you do that, you are depriving yourself from the true essence of the beauty of that assignment God has given you. And at one time, you're going to fail. But there's nothing to be proud about. So that's what I feel we should always think about. It's not you, it's for people. I'm anointed for people. I'm a singer for people. I'm an artist for people. It's not for yourself. I'm intelligent for people. The moment you have that thought in you, pride dies immediately. God can pick anyone when you are feeling. That's why you shouldn't feel important. The moment you start feeling very important over yourself, you are losing touch of your true existence in life. And that's why I just don't like people who are proud, and also people who don't listen. These kind of human beings are going to have too many issues to solve. Maybe, may not, but the bottom line is simple. Don't lose what God gave you for your self-reasoning. Don't do that to yourself. The consequences are higher in the future. And that's why I keep saying to people, don't celebrate success of people you don't know why and how it came. Life was patterned into what you do with your life, not how old you are and how you do it. And are you in the will of God for your life? Then age is just a number. As long as you are in God's will for your life, just keep doing what you are doing. So the question is, don't fail at all. Don't allow another man take your place and you give a reason for why your place was taken. If you replace yourself and choose another path, remember, God owns your life and God gave you a path. If you choose to replace God's path, I don't know who is going to be the one that you're going into. Because it's only God that leads paths that he creates for us. He gave Adam a path. When Adam chose his path, he left it. When you are in a community of people that you see every day, the electrifying thing that comes out of that community is the views of people. What do you do with them? Some people have very poor perspective about life. Some have events of their own life that are regrettable. Some have backgrounds that are very influensive to them. So some have very polite grown-ups. So now when you start talking to me about certain things about life, it will come from two angles of your life, your pain and your kindness. People in those communities don't really have what they see ahead of them. And sometimes I am marveled at the decisions people take, what they use their eyes to do and what they say with their mouth, and how much impact they inflict on people without even knowing. And let's be wise to know that a condition is not a direction. I have a condition here. It shouldn't direct my life. My direction should control the condition. But today, conditions controls people's lives. And that is why there are too many regrettable people living on the earth today. Let's be wise. Keep that community with one thing in your head. I have a direction for my life. So that will give you the essence of how you think, what you receive, who you speak with, what you do, what you're not supposed to do. That is your frame. And I pray for everybody that it is not what you are giving today that defines where you are going to. It's what you are directed to do with your life that leads you there. So what you earn does not make you. It's what you see that makes your life. Because if earning will make a man, Abraham will not have been made by earning. He was made by what he saw. So let's try and make sure whatever we are doing, we are sure of where we are going to. Because at the end of the day, it's not the friend that brought a business proposal that will count, or a brother that told you something that will count. At the end of everything, it is your decision that you took that led you to that end, to that wrong path or to that right path. So let's be careful. Keep reviewing yourself every day and seek for healthy counsel. Your decision is not enough when it concerns destiny. Because if Moses' decision was enough, he killed somebody. It was when God came to the picture, Moses saw his part of life. So all that decision to help was not God's decision for his life. It was when God came to his life, he saw his part. You may think you are right, but you may be leading yourself to a bad place. But please, if you want to be right, get a superior counsel, and then not the one that leads you wrong, the one that leads you according to scriptures to your end. Because if God leads you, you will end. If God leads you, you will surely end right. And I wish every community man, don't fight the place, fight for your future. Don't fight the people, fight for tomorrow. Don't blame the system, look for what to do with the system. Don't accuse, look for what to accept. Impact, don't destroy. Build, don't waste. And this will help everyone. Have a blessed week. God bless you. Let's rise and make the change anywhere we find ourselves. Let's rise to make the change. One of the privileges that God gives is that he gives you access to systems so you can make your own kind of contributions. And don't ever invest wrongly in a system, because tomorrow can't be defined by you, but you can hope to see it. So let's invest right in any system we belong and become the frontliners of growth in anywhere we go to, because your story is your name, and your name is your brand, and your brand is your pattern, and your pattern is that fruit that will never fail. Don't take this lightly. Let's know that impacting systems is more stronger than raising a child, because if you impact a system, your child will eat from it. You have nothing you have impacted on, your child will not eat from it. So impacting system, and stop caring for yourself. That's why the word says self. Care for people, care for systems, because it is the system that will matter at the end. Those who are always fighting for their interests don't have interest to give out. Let's start fighting for systems. A good teacher does not teach a student who does not seek for peace, and a good husband does not advise a wife who does not seek for peace, and a good wife does not have any kind gift to give to your husband who never seek for peace. It's a all-round knowledge. Let us depart from evil with our mouths and seek for peace by all means, because peace is not just quietness. Peace is progression. Peace is also wisdom. Peace is also timely, and peace tells you what to do and what not to do. Peace is a voice, and peace is also a person, and peace is also an atmosphere. And peace can bring a gift that no man can give to you. Peace. Peace. And people don't fight for peace. And if you start fighting for peace, you'll be healthy, you'll be favored, you'll be blessed, you'll live long, you have opportunities in life, because peace creates. Foundation is a decision you take. Now that you've taken that decision, you must understand the responsibilities that comes with it. Then build the cultures behind it. So when you get to that level, you must know what it takes. So knowing what it takes is all about giving all to it. And make sure that you know that fighting the good fight of faith is that starting a journey that others will follow. So if I'm starting what others will follow, I must know that I am the pioneer of it. And the confrontations that will come with it will always be there. And you should be ready for it. The confrontations will come to stop you, to make sure you don't get it. So you must be ready to fight those confrontations, but they will come. And it's only when you triumph you can tell the stories. If you want to make a difference, then you must start taking that decision now and break through it with some level of spiritual authority in your life. Of course, the calling is from God. And if you want to stay different, you must always go back to God and study Him, and He will always make you end up different. When purpose is not a destination, then your life will be lived anyhow. Yes. You see, anybody who is under guide has a destination. So the most important part of a man's life is not his gift, it's not what he wants to achieve, where he really sees himself in the future. So if you have that sight, then you will look for who to control it. That control is what makes the future. And that's why I've always said, don't live a life where nobody controls you. It's risky. Coaches are not to make us win matches. They are to make us win life. Sometimes the coach may not be an example of victory, but he has the experiences of victory. You need to learn. And if we learn well, I've always said the peace of the future is in your own hands. It's not in my hands. If we learn well, we'll come out very outstanding than the persons who taught us. So give yourself the guidance, give yourself the corrections, give yourself the rebuke, and then mold yourself to fit where you're going to be. The drive of the future is what gives you a teacher. Sometimes what a man that of a gift needs is not technicalities, he needs character. So these are the things we need from the people around us. Not compliments, but character decisions to suit in the drive of the future. So coaches are not just to see you play, they are to see you grow. The social media age is not supposed to be a bad thing. It's supposed to be a good thing for everybody. Your drive for life defines what you watch and what you see. Anything that's not growing, it's not the place, it's you. The problem is people don't know what to do. If you have a vision for what you do, offers will not be your problem anymore. You say, I don't need it. The problem is people just get into jobs because they lack what to eat, not because it's a vision for tomorrow. If you know that you are assigned to do it till you know your future there, offers will never be your problem. So when a man lacks direction, that's what they do. They jump from place to place. It's like somebody who enters a plane. If you enter a plane from here to Lagos, you say success. How does plane entry make you successful? Or joining an organization where they give you 1,000 naira every day make you successful? Okay, how does a small privilege of being certain make you? Success is a long-term plan. Success is a long-term program, and it just takes you to know what you are doing. It's a long-term plan. Some of these things can take you 50 years to achieve, 20 years to achieve. So we must understand that all these diversions that we bring to our life is the reason why people are not succeeding in life. Because you cannot succeed by jumping from place to place. Consultation is the most powerful gift that we have. So the problem is that we have people who don't listen because they don't access advice. Age does not give you access to knowledge. But I want to end by saying this: let's not run into offers because of the needs we have. And tomorrow's interest should be your concern, not to these needs. Supervision is very important, and some parents don't supervise their kids. They only instruct their children. People you leave alone, they are bound to make a lot of mistakes. We must supervise our children. Though they carry the Bible, though they pray, though they say yes sir, yes sir, you must supervise them. You must watch your kids. It's that supervision that tells you what to do next on the child. And that's what God did in the garden. He made Adam go through him. He was always coming to Adam, coming to Adam, coming to Adam. So when Adam made a mistake, he came to him to rectify it. Even God himself expects that you go through him. The Holy Ghost is in you. It's not outside you. So he can lead you. So we must supervise our kids, because there's a tendency that any child can deviate if you don't supervise them. You keep correcting, you keep checking, you keep knowing. Those are the things you keep doing. You know, trust is not because how much money you give. Trust is simple. It's how free this lady is to talk to me. Though I'm very respected, but she knows if she tells me something, it's safe. And I won't use it against her. Rather, I will help her to come out of it and give her a direction. That's all parenting is all about. Parenting is helping people to do better. Your purpose defines a relationship. So what is your drive for life? That drive now tells you who to meet. In the book of Luke, when Jesus was trying to start his life, he looked for people who had the kind of competence that he was looking for. So your friends are your drive. Where you are going to is the kind of friends you should keep. Don't ever forget that. Whether in school, whether in church, whether in your neighborhood, whether in the plane, whether anywhere you go to, anywhere you find yourself.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to another exciting episode of Gospel Manager. It's the 9th of February 2026, and we're glad God has brought us into a whole new week. And to us in the Gospel Manager family and in the Honor World International is a week of superior communications with scriptural reference to Proverbs 18 verse 21 and John 3:63 and 1 Corinthians 15 verse 33. Now God is going to be doing a lot to us in this week, using our words to mend and shape our destinies for the next areas of our lives and in every aspect of our lives in Jesus' precious name. Now don't forget, the Gospel Manager is now live, so send the link to your friends, your families, put it on your stories, put it on your status, so that those who follow you and those who get to see them will know that we are now live. And you can send in your questions at the comment section as you have always been doing, and also by WhatsApp and Telegram text as +2349047533019. And also the email is thegospelmanager@gmail.com, and my team and I will collect the questions and share it on the platform. You could also take advantage of the scroll bar. The informations are there so that you can be part of the conversations this morning. As usual, it's Gospel Manager and her guest, and we also have in today's episode, he's been our guest in the previous episodes beginning this season, and we are so glad to have him again in today's episode. It's Reverend Paul Mordi. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Morning, thank you very much.
We had an amazing time with him at the course of the weekend, and today we look forward to more exciting conversations in this episode. Now, I'm going to leave the floor now because God's servant, the convener and the oracle of our time, is in the studio, so he could give us his opening remarks and also set the course for this morning's episode. Good morning, Dad, and welcome.
Morning, how are you?
Fine,
Good morning. God has a plan, but we must prepare for the plan. If we don't prepare for the plan, we'll keep asking God, what's the plan? And if you keep asking God the plan, He's asking you, what are you doing, what I've given to you? He created Adam, but he didn't name the animals. But that was Adam's responsibility. So sometimes man is asking too much from God. And God is saying, I have limits. Yesterday I was praying and God said, I have limits. I know I'm the unlimited God, but there are things I will never do as long as you are there. God did not come to the garden and stop the serpent. He has the right. But that jurisdiction belongs to Adam. See, God respects protocol. And one of the greatest things that man has refused to respect is protocol. And that's why we are suffering. God respects jurisdiction. God had the power to kill the serpent from heaven. He knew what the serpent was saying to Eve. He is God, the Almighty God. He is omnipotent, omniscience, omnipotent. But why did he kill the serpent? Because he has no right to do that. That right belongs to Adam to handle. So when we understand that God has a plan, we must prepare and build the protocols around us, so God will not do what we are supposed to do. And that's why there's no carelessness around God. I noticed all through the Bible, there are no careless talks, careless behavior, no carelessness around God. You can't do something and God say, okay, no, this is white, this is black, do white, do black. If you do this, you are punished. If you know, God is just straightforward. And until we start understanding that the frames we are given to build from can only get God closer when we are doing the right thing. So if God has told Abraham and Abraham says it's not going, there's nothing God would have done. There's nothing God would have done to Abraham's life. If he had said, God, I'm old, I can't go, he would have remained there. So let's build and stop giving excuses over things we can take care of as humans. God cannot come and bring peace to your marriage. You have to work on it yourself. God will not cook a good food. You have to cook the good food yourself. God will not respect your husband. You have to respect your husband. And God, there are certain things God will not do for you. You have to do it yourself. He won't respect your boss for you. You have to respect your leader for you. He won't make you do your job. You have to do your job yourself. So until we understand that God does not do everything, though He is the Almighty God, He respects your location, and it's only when it concerns Him He pays attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are going to start off today's question with a question that came to us via email from a young fellow in Cyprus, and it's kind of alike with some questions that we've had in the Gospel Manager platform. But I'm going to paraphrase because she described a situation in her office, and then she also asked the question. So I'm going to ask the question directly, and I think God's servant will cover up in terms of whatever happened in the office with the question, with this answer. And she is trying to ask that why is it that people under leadership focus on their wants and not necessarily on the improvement of the assignment that is given to them? Because from the story she gave, she said the people who work under her, not all, when she's actually demanding for tax and why it's not done, they begin to tell her about the issues they have in their house and the challenges that they face, bringing their emotional things into office play. That because she is a leader, she most times helps them solve those needs. Like she said in the case of this story, it was the person's younger sister who lives with her that had a child, so he had to clear the medical bill so that he can focus on the job and do his job. So she's asking, why is there so many people under leadership? They focus on what they want, and they're easily distracted by that, and not necessarily about the job they have at hand.
That's the demonism of man. I have been a victim of such situations severally. You just help people today to solve a problem. Tomorrow they are taking decisions that affects the job. So my advice to her is that she should focus more on her work. I'm talking as a man now, focus more on your job. And it's time for leaders to start saying no to people. When you start saying no to people, you will know the kind of persons you have. Because if you are doing that to, if she helps them, it's for the sake of the job. If I'm helping, it's because you are useful. Am I correct? And when you now turn that into a situation, then it's time for leaders to start saying no. I have boundaries now, I can't do that. So it's not wickedness. It's a sign that you know what you want to build. Somebody wants to build something and he needs people to work, and they are always giving excuses. That's a sign to tell who that person is already. Because if you have the passion that I have to build, you will never complain. You either be angry that the thing is not working. One of the greatest gifts you should have is not the gift of men. It's the gift of passionate people who want to see you grow. Not the gift of men. I don't pray for the gift of men. I pray for the gift of passionate people who want to see me succeed. Because if I succeed, they have succeeded. The people who just want to live a life, comfortable life, work for themselves, self-centeredness, looking for what to grab for themselves, those are not people to keep around the workplace. Because they will not, every little crisis they have, they will go out of the job. They have mother is sick, father is sick, sister is sick. Everything will distract them from the work. And those kind of persons will not give 120% to see anything grow. So she should pay attention to her work and check the spirit of men around her and know how to make sure that they are useful to what they do. And because welfare is not a problem if there is growth in a place. I've always said it. See, welfare is not a problem if there's growth, except it's a wicked person who you are following. Welfare is not a problem if a thing has grown. And when the thing has not grown and you're doing all of that, how will it grow? But it needs to grow first before we start talking about who to care for. It has not grown. It can't afford certain things. So let her do her best to make sure she protects her work first, because she has to protect that work so the work can grow. When it grows, it can care for anybody. You can't be telling me that Julius Berger will beg you to go and work for him, or the Dangotes. No. He has grown. If you don't want to work, they will sack you. Get out of this place. Go elsewhere and be stupid. So the reason why all these small jobs are is because the thing is not grown. So they have dragged it to sack people. So when you have grown and people are playing with the job, sack them. Get out of this place. But you can't be repeating the same thing you've been told not to do. This is not the way to go. I know your mother is sick, but this thing you are supposed to do, you're supposed to do this thing at this time. I was having some, my father died. Of course, yes. My father died. I went to see my boss. They had a program. I waited. He said I will go after 2-3 days. I waited. They gave me 2 weeks to bury. I took 2 days to bury. This thing is all about how driven you are to succeed in the place that you find yourself. When you have a drive to succeed, you will even see anything distracting you as an enemy to that place. So the people just look for what you do for them, not what they will do for the work where they are. And if we continue like that, we will not build any viable systems on the earth, because you must pay sacrifices first before you get the access to satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, pay sacrifices first before you get access to satisfaction. Now, the next question I want to ask, it comes from a series of the questions that we've had and a series of experiences that we've also had. God's servant had countlessly said that you must play your part by teaching people, but you cannot really change the heart of man. It has to be by themselves. So the question, some of this group of persons were asking, some of the questions we have, and I also see light to them. I'm going to paraphrase it, and I'm not going to take some parts because they are completely irrelevant to the conversation at this time. So the question is more like, why is the heart of man not persuasive to mirror the heart of the men who they follow? For example, you are following a leader, you hear him, you see him, but the person is trying to ask, why is it that people don't really have this quick decision to fine-tune their heart to the cravings of the man with whom they follow?
If you see your leader cry, this is if you see a man who you follow, who leads cry, is bothered, if you don't see the pain, you will not see the tax. Because it is the pain you see that you now begin to see. This is why he talks like this. Because if you don't see that, you can't see the tax. You begin to know this is why he talks like this. This is why he's like this all the time. The moment you start seeing the pain of the man, you see the tax of the man. So the problem is not the tax yet. The people who follow people have not, persons of that nature, have not seen the pain of the man. Sometimes he doesn't need to cry. You can just see him restless. I did better because I was in Lagos many years ago where I served, and we were having a meeting, and the man just stood like this and said, "Oh God, give me men that will change this work." I was just a young pastor when I heard that story. And to make it worse, he finished that thing, and then we now went for a meeting, and I heard all the pastors were saying, as if I should open the ground and let the ground eat me up. I just said, did they not see that man, how he was talking on the altar? That was where I now defined the mandate. That was where I wrote the mandate of that ministry. From things said, I wrote it myself. I wrote it, and I framed it, and because he was kept using one particular scripture, so I now identified that is the scripture of the ministry. I wrote it, sent to him, framed it. So when he came to the church where I was privileged to pastor, I showed it to him. He said I should hang it inside the church because I cannot put it out. It's not my church. So when he approved of it, and I went to get the CAC of the ministry, I said, he said, put it in the church. That's why the entire ministry now had that thing. I did it. But it's from the pain I discovered that now gave me access to the tax that I carried out in that house. So the thing is, if people don't know the pain of the person they follow, they will not know the tax that the person has. And that's why there are diversions of hearts in the place of work. The moment we get that right, understanding the pain of the person, you will go the extreme to serve that kind of man. Whether he's progressing or it's not progressing, because you can feel the pain of the man. That's all. That is thorough discipleship. Your heart to be for the work, You have to be for the man. Why would Peter try to kill somebody? Is that he has gotten the pain of Jesus. That's the pain. That's how it starts. So a lot of people work in organizations, they don't have the pain of the man. So what they have is the privilege of an office. They are asked to lead people. So have you noticed if they even lead these people, they're not leading them with passion. They're leading them with some casualness. That's what we're asked to do. Have you heard all the people say, no, we meet our that's what we're asked to do? That kind of leader is just there for position's sake. But when you see the pain, if somebody breaks a law, you want to kill the person. They will ask, is it your job? My dear, it's more than my job. This is my life. So people don't understand what it takes to even be discipled and follow properly. But it starts with the pain that you discover from the person you are following. And if you discover that pain, you will do better as a disciple in any system of life. Why did Elijah stay with Elijah? It's the pain of Elijah. He saw it. He served in water. He saw the man when the man cries. He saw the man when the man had pain. He saw the man when the man was quiet. He saw the man when the man... So those are the things that enables you to serve better. And if you don't know those things, you will not. They will push you. Every need in your life will distract you from serving. Every need will distract you from serving. So we need to go back and discover that the pain... Let me ask you this question. Why did Jesus die? If you were asked. If you were asked, you will say it's because it's not the cross. He died for the body that he had from Genesis chapter 3 that was taken. It is that body that made him die, not you. It is that thing that the devil took from the earth that he needed to restore back. We are the secondary part of it. The first part of it is the burden of that thing Satan did. So it is the pain that took him to the cross, not us. We are the beneficiaries of that pain that Jesus went to carry out on the cross. So if we don't have that sight to see the pain of the places where we walk, we will never be useful there. You'll just be seeing people doing all they do to kill systems every day, and every day of their lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. One of the key takeouts from this conversation now is that until you see the pain of a leader, you will not know the tax that is required of you to carry out. And that explains unfinished tasks in every organization. People tend to trivialize the work given to them. And with this, we're speaking to both us who are in the studio, myself, and to everyone who is watching. We must make sure we see the pain of those who we follow, so we'll understand the importance of the task that is given to us and carry it out. And it's very important. Please take the lessons from the gospel manager, because it will help us to improve as persons and also as a cooperative in whatever system or organization or ministry that you function in. Now, I would want to ask God's servant a question. Having heard all of this that he has gladfully taught us, and I believe that this would be a blessing to whoever is willing to learn. And the question would be, how do we then make people see the pain in order for them to fulfill the task? And I'm saying this because I see a couple of leaders struggle in getting people who work with them to finish the task that is accrued to them, in order not necessarily to please whoever it is that they follow, but to get the work done at least to a certain standard. How can pastors, how can leaders, how can business people get their people to see the pain, not necessarily as the leader saying it to them, but those who are sub-leaders or them themselves seeing it by themselves and make a decision to fulfill the task?
For the leader itself, is consistency on your part. People have one thing to break you, to make you delay. Man is a very crafted being. If you look at people, sometimes I've led people for a very long time, and one of the things about man is that man will always tell you that it won't work. That is man for you. So you have to be consistent in your decision making, and you have to be brave. A coward should not lead people. A cowardice should not be a leader. Because when you try to please, you don't please people when you lead, you direct people. I've always said it to people who are with me. You direct people, you don't please them. Because the person you please will not be fulfilling destiny with you. So you should be careful when you try to please people as a leader. You direct people, you don't please them. So you must stay consistent in what you do. And there is no way you can sell what you are not. Some leaders are not what they sell. So I cannot change from who I am. I will always sell what I have. You may not like it, and I'm not doing it for you to like it. I'm doing it because it's something I have to do. So I have to do it. And for the people needs to keep seeing the thing consistently, whether they like it or not. In case somebody says, I don't like this meeting you fixed at 12 midnight, that is you. You don't need to like it. But for what I saw in the future, we need 12 midnight to succeed in that thing. So you will do it. You follow me now? So the thing has nothing to do with you now. I saw 12 midnight. That is a part of what will make us succeed. So you will do it. So the person said, no, you don't have a choice. So the people you see misbehave is because the leaders themselves accept the considerations they bring. Because if you accept for one, you must accept for two, you must accept for three. And that's the problem of foolish leaders that don't have sense. Because the moment you accept for one person, you accept for two, you accept for three, you accept for four, you accept for five, and at the end of the day, you discover that you have destroyed a system for accepting for one person. So the people will always act to destroy, but the leader should always act to build. You are the leader, so be consistent in it. If one person fails, does not mean everybody will fail. Keep doing the thing. Go back to it. Go back to it. Go back to it. Go back to it. But saying you want to make them see it, no, you can't make them see anything. It's your consistency that will make them see it. If talking would have changed men, I believe that I'm one of the most active teachers on this earth. Active. I teach everything I see to people. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. Define that. Because we are in the public space, define that in the act of thought for yourself, and you know what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll move over to this question, and this one came in from Mr. Jonathan. Says he's streaming currently from Cross River State, and he says, "Good morning, sir. So I love the precision, and this topic about leadership and burden is not necessarily talked about in most places, and I really resonate, and I'm profoundly grateful for your thoughts and your conversation. But sir, I want to ask this question on character. How do you recover when your character fails you publicly? I mean that you may be someone who had always been patient, someone who has a good character, but maybe you reacted out of context just once, but then it has tarnished your image. How can you repair that, sir?"
You see, the mood of apology is very important. You must say, when people don't know how to return back, the problem is that we don't know how to return back. But the greatest wisdom a man should have is not when you make a mistake, it's when you return back. The returning back is more important than the mistake itself. And a lot of people don't know how to return back. They don't know how to rectify an error. Let me teach you something that I have learned many years ago. You see, when you are always trying to exempt yourself from situations that are wrong, that you are justified being right, or you are the one who takes control of things. I told somebody the other day, you are always trying to lead people. You're always trying that your decision is the one that should be accepted. Because you're not listening to common counsel, you take decisions and they end you very wrong. And when you are wrong, you don't know how to return back. As you see that kind of act, when you really have crisis, nobody will advise you. Even when they know they can help you, they will not. And that's where people die. So if you're a leader and you made a mistake, apologize straight. There are many ways to apologize to people. There are many ways to apologize to people. If you cannot come publicly, do something to show that you are apologizing. You have to apologize. But you can apologize in many ways as a leader. Because you can make mistakes too. You can make mistakes. So when you are not accepting errors, so you won't know how to apologize. One is to accept errors, and two, then to apologize. So you can apologize by coming boldly and say, see that statement I made. Have I not told you that I misinterpreted something and told you that was wrong? My apologies. What is there? Does that change who I am to you? No, it's just an uncooked human being that feels apologizing to somebody makes you little. You're uncooked, because if you're truly mature, you should know that apology means I now realize that decision I took was wrong and I retract my step. That's all it means. It means nothing. So, but you can do that in many ways. You can buy a gift for the entire system. You can come back and laugh with the people. You understand? Just to show that you have rectified an error. But staying there and feeling, sometimes it's not guilt, it's pride. Some of the things people do is not guilt, it's pride. How can I now say I'm sorry? It's pride, it's not guilt. Because if it is guilt, you should be sober. But when you are proud, you will not be sober. You still be showing headiness that you're not wrong. So in that light, sometimes remember that no matter how stupid a man is, he's observing you. People are watching you too. As a leader, people are watching you. People are watching me. They know my strength, and they know the other part of my life. They know. They discuss me in their private time. Some is jest, some in seriousness, some in casualness. But that's a discussion about me. And you should know that. But just imagine that you are always weak, and imagine what people say about you. It's not good for your leadership. So you must learn to build strength and also be compassion attached. Compassion means I understand where I'm wrong, and I'm willing to show that I'm a human being, and I accept that I'm a human being, and I can apologize. I will not stand on the right. And that shows that you're a human being. And that shows that you can learn. Because that's a sign that you can learn. It's a sign that you are teachable. Repentance means you're teachable. So when I see people not able to return back to an error, it means you're not teachable. You see them taking a decision like this, I want to leave. A decision like this, they're getting angry. I don't want to be the leader anymore. That is pride. You see them even get angry. That is just unguided pride. Finish that yourself. That means they are not supposed to be corrected. They don't make mistakes. They are always right. And that kind of person will never do well as a leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So we're going to take the next question. The next question is from someone called Obi on Telegram, and there's another via email. So they are both questions, but I'm going to take them once because they are somewhat related. The first one from Obi says, "Good morning, Daddy. Please, sir, what is the most important character that we must look out for before choosing a life partner?" Then the second person asks, "Good morning, sir. Please, how can character be tested in a relationship before marriage? Is there any way we can test the person's true character? And is it via questions or via a test? If there is, please let us know, sir."
Spontaneous responses is what, I've matured a lot. I have grown myself now. I don't subscribe love for marriage anymore. I don't subscribe intelligence for marriage anymore. I don't subscribe availability. Watch me and you learn. I don't subscribe love. I don't subscribe availability. I don't subscribe intelligence anymore. I don't even subscribe spirituality anymore. But spirituality is my foundation because I'm a Christian. But I don't. But I have to build from that. So, because I represent Christ. The only thing I subscribe is spontaneousness. What you do unknowingly is who you are. That is what will make you choose a spouse. The things people do uncontrollably, that's their life. Because that's what will destroy your marriage. See, that spontaneous thing you do. So it's what will build it and it's what will destroy it. Suddenly you just act. Something just enters your head, you just act. That's the thing that will kill your marriage. And that thing also is what will make your home. So that prompt actions is what I want to look in marriage right now. And those are the questions we should be asking people around us. What are the spontaneous actions you carry out when you are angry? I want to know them. And how spontaneous are you in doing the right things? These are the two things that will make every home. You hear somebody say, I waited for too long, so I just acted. That action is what brought the problem now. I didn't know when I said it. That's what brought the problem. I didn't know when I did it. That's what brought the love. So that spontaneous action, to me, is what we should be looking at in people's life. Not love. Not intelligence. Because no matter how smart you are, it won't keep your marriage. No matter how much you love somebody, when they start getting wrong, it will turn to hatred. But if you study the spontaneousness of someone, you should be able to know how to deal with them when they are in certain situations. And if you can deal with those situations, you will always stay married with the person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We're going to ask this question, and this question is directed to you, sir. It's from someone online. The person says, "Good morning, sir. I watched the last live stream, and I was very, very blessed by Reverend Paul's responses and conversation, including the upper one. But I want to ask this question because I am also a minister serving under a ministry. Sir, please, can you please kindly share if you've ever made a mistake in ministry as a servant under a servant, and how was this rectified, and how did you maintain back the relationship or the position if it was applicable?"
Thank you very much for that question. I want to thank my father once again for this privilege. Very grateful for that. That is a wonderful question. I have several times, and by God's grace, I'm privileged to have a father who is not just a spiritual father, but also serve as biological father and fathers from every angles, who will always, like you always tell us, he's not scared of anybody. You are wrong, you are wrong. You either take it or leave it. And it's a man that will always call us to order. I have made mistakes several times. I am not sitting here to claim that I'm perfect in any way. I have made series of mistakes that some of you does not even know. Our father is the only one that knows. And he will call me to order, sit me down and talk to me and let me know why this should not come from me, because I'm a leader of people. And by God's grace, having followed him for a while, I apologize. And he's a man with a large heart. He's a father that whenever you sincerely, like what he said, whenever you sincerely apologize, he's always willing to forgive. He will never even show it, and he will not measure it. So several times, this man sitting here, I've goofed and I've been corrected. And I want to thank God for the father that God gave to me, that have corrected me to checkmate my excesses. If you said you are perfect in the place of service, you'll be deceiving yourself. That means you have come to the prime of your life. Not intentionally though. Once in a while, there are times you may veer off course. And if you don't have a good leader who will call you back to order, you will keep on making the same mistakes. But when you appreciate the father, God has blessed you with a father who can easily correct you, bring you back to order, and not even remember your stupidity of yesterday tomorrow. I believe that is the best father you can have in life. So I have made series of mistakes, and I've been corrected several times, and I'm still learning, and I'm still willing and ready for correction anywhere, anytime, any moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. More questions are coming in for you, sir. And this one says that the last time you spoke about a spouse and how ministers could also have healthy conversations, you also spoke on how you gave your children roles to play in the morning devotions. Sir, please, can you help expand on how we could instill that discipline, especially as ministers who are busy travelers? Because I am not under a minister, but I am a traveling evangelist. But I want to be sure if there are steps that you made, if there are procedures you can share that I could imbibe with my family back at home.
Thank you very much. I have learned from my father a lot. In this place, we have devotion both morning and midnight prayers. And there are timetables, names, you are taking worship, you are taking praise, you are taking prayer, opening prayer, prophetic prayer, the word. So you have copied the same thing. So in my house, I have timetable. If, as I'm here, they are doing their devotion. So I don't need to be around. There is a set-up order which I have learned from my father, which I have transferred to my family as well. Because where you feed from is what you need to feed your family as well, so that there will be the same flow. So everybody have routines, timetable. Today you are taking worship, tomorrow you are taking, what is it called? You are taking the childness, tomorrow you are taking prayer. So all these things has been a process that have been outlined, which they follow whether I'm around or not around. And after every day we call, I was in devotion, everything went well. So I keep on following up. As our father give us instruction, he keep following us up. Even when he give us, he knows that sometimes if it's not there, the instruction will not be carried. He will come at himself to make sure those instructions, because like our father said, he said consistency on your part as a leader. You ask a question, how do the people that follow a leader see the pains of the leader in order to fulfill his tasks? He said the leader have to be consistent in making sure the people are put in place, because most times we are human beings. Sometimes the instruction can be given, and as you step out, you have forgotten the instruction because you are not seeing the pain and the task. But when the leader is consistent in following up, in monitoring the instruction given, with time everybody will grow into the system. As we are growing every day, maturing every day, that is how the process has been going. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. This is the last question for you, but then the person also requested and begged that we also ask God's servant the second question. He is saying, this is Apostle Israel, and he is saying, sir, please, what counsel would you give ministers who are faithful but discouraged? Now he's begging for us to ask God's servant that he recently was appointed a position to head in the PFN, but he said, what should a minister do when personal weakness collides with the public responsibility? And he went on to say that he admits that he's reckless in spending. That's why most of the times he had to employ a personal accountant to manage his finances, supervised by his wife. But now they've given him, I wouldn't want to call the position so that we probably will not try to trace who the minister is, but they gave him something within that periphery. And he said he secretly went to the head to say that he may not be able to perform well because he has a weakness in this. But they said no, that God said they should make him. So he's asking, how can he manage that scenario so he won't goof in that position? So we'll take your question first. What counsel would you give ministers who are faithful but discouraged?
The truth about life is that if you have a father that you are following, and it's not discouraged, so why will you be discouraged? If you have a father who's always telling you about tomorrow, it's not telling you about yesterday, tomorrow, 10 years, 20 years, to me, you don't have any reason to be discouraged, because he's the one leading you. He sees tomorrow, he sees 20 years. Even if there's no food to eat today, and my father tell me tomorrow, this is what God said we do, I'm not bothered about food. All I'm concerned is what is God telling him. And the moment I hear that, I realign myself to follow what God is saying to him. So if that man does not have a father that is looking up to, he should look for one. But if he have, what is his father telling him? Because every word of a father to you is a source of your encouragement. You don't need any other encouragement. You don't need encouragement by what happens around you, but by the words your father keeps speaking. God said we are going to be here next 2 years. My father made a statement a few days ago. He said, give me 5 years and all of you will see what is going to happen here. That is enough. So what else is it? If I don't have food now, I don't have 1 naira, it's not my business. Because I know that the next 5 years, with what my father have said, heaven is your stepping stone. It's not your limit. So a man that have a genuine father who God speaks to, and you believe in your father, does not have any reason to be discouraged. Definitely once in a while to creep in, but the ones you keep hearing and you believe what you are hearing, it will build your stamina to keep advancing. Thank you very much.
What's the question?
The minister was asking that how do you manage your personal weakness when you have not been given a public office that if you don't manage yourself, you will
See, one
grow.
of the things I've always advised is inbuilt discipline. If you build yourself correctly, you should have a test ground for yourself. You know, the messages I hear, I just feel these guys are marketing a certain image, which I don't want to go into. And a minister should not be selling certain pictures, because Jesus did not do that. Jesus never sold a picture of a weakness. There is no time Jesus preached a message that condemned a woman. Watch me, that condemns a thief, that condemns anyone. He preached the message that reflected the Bible. This is how to live life. Look at the message of the Beatitude. He just taught us how to live life. So if you want to succeed, you must learn how to live life. And how do you live life? You have to deal with yourself mentally first. This is it. Here. And then when you deal with that, and situations comes that try to test something you call a weakness, then create a human being that can handle that area of your life. And that's the wisdom people should have. If you have anger issues, you know what you should be doing to yourself? Get a PRO that should be handling the issues that will make you get angry. So the person takes care of it. And before the person gets to you, the situation is mild. So there's no need telling me that this is a weakness so you cannot prosper with your life. I have a problem with women, so I cannot work with women. That's not correct. We are in a community of people. Everybody, there are more women than men on this earth. So if life opens you up tomorrow, you steal, so they not give you money that's not your own, so you eat it. No, now. You should devise a means to make sure that that thing in your life does not give you a problem. Devise the means so you can triumph over that kind of situation in case you meet it. So to me, that is an opportunity for him to serve God. Let him create an environment that will make him not expose his weakness and be mentally fit to do that job. And for what he said about discouragement, see, the truth is, man likes to take the easier route in life. And that's why we always look for, can you even ask, why are you discouraged? Why are you discouraged? Have you asked that question? If the minister is pastoring his own church, there are times, there are wilderness seasons of his life, and he must go through that to grow. And that's not discouragement, that's preparation.
That's true, sir.
What he's calling discouragement can be preparation for his own life.
Yes, sir.
Jesus went through it for 40 days. And if you're serving under some, what are you discouraged about? You should be asking yourself a question. What are you adding to the system before you start getting discouraged? So your addition should be the question. If you don't have certain availability, simply means we have not grown. If the ministry has grown and then everything is okay and then you are suffering, then the system is wicked to you.
Yes, sir.
But if the system is not producing anything and you're discouraged of what? Because the system has to produce before you start getting discouraged. You needed to work to bear fruits before we start talking about discouragement. The man who owns the church knows that you are just 5 years, you are just 13 years, you are just 20. What are you not supposed to be building? And those building processes takes a lot. In today's world, you must work very hard to build a ministry. And if you're serving somebody, what is your own contribution to that work. Before you start getting discouraged, what are you trying to build there? I was a music director of a church. I built a certain standard. I was a pastor. I built. What have you built that the man did not support you, but you built it yourself, that has your name on it in the work? So discouragement to me is not a statement. It's human emotions carried out by sentiment. But if you're discouraged for what you do for a living, that's not a discouragement. If you're not doing well, do well. It's your job. Do well. Grow it. If you're having issues with your marriage, that one needs counsel. So go to who will counsel you in your marriage, so you will have peace. If you don't know how to talk, go to who will counsel you on how to talk. So the discouragement thing, nobody can discourage you. They can only delay you. It's like I speak about people. Don't drag me backwards. I bring an idea, you drag it. I'm not discouraged, but I'm being dragged, because if I transport it to you, I expect you to see what I'm seeing and run with it. So, but that's not discouragement. It's dragging me backwards, because I can do better if you see and run with me at the same pace. So let us not be carrying some sentimental decisions of our hearts, bring it to a place of work that we need specific counsel to solve, and do as if it's the work. That the work is not your problem. If you're not growing in what you do, you are the problem. If the thing is not working, you are the problem. If your parents are attacking what you do, you brought them into it. If your husband is attacking your job, you brought them into it. If your husband is asking you to stop church, you caused it yourself. If your wife is fighting, anything that happens within the frames of your office, you are the reasons why it's happening. Somebody did not know that you are the one having this conversation that brought those attacks into the system. So I've always concluded, when you see people say, my husband say I will stop church, my wife is fighting for coming to church, it's their conversations. So they needed an event, so they will use it and act. You are the window for that crisis, not the thing you're talking about. So what we do in church is consolidation. Go and comfort, go and ask, go and resolve. But me as a person, I know the problem to the root. So discouragement, no. If you need advice, seek it. If you need growth, work for it. Thank you.
This is a powerful way to end today's episode. If you need advice, seek it. If you need growth, we must work for it. And with this, we want to invite you for our midweek service this Thursday. It's going to be an incredible moment. God's servant had been dealing with us on the code. And the first he dealt with vision, then he went to spirituality, and just at the last sermon, he dwelt on the place of the Holy Spirit. We look forward to the next code that will be unraveled to us, and as we invite you to be part of that remarkable service, it's Thursday by 4:30 p.m. And please remember that you could always go back to rewatch all the episodes of Gospel Manager and the character that was held on Friday last week, and even the messages on Maxwell Golden Egbe on YouTube and Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe on Facebook. Do well to follow him on all social media platforms so you could be richly blessed. Choke your day, choke your moments with wisdom and wise words from God's servant. Like he said in the last episode, he said, don't starve your brain, keep eating, feed your mind. Morning, afternoon, evening. Don't feed your belly alone, because it ends up as waste. But when you feed your mind, it ends up making you useful and productive. So please follow him across all social media platforms, and don't forget to also share, like, and subscribe to his YouTube handle and to his Instagram handle. And God will bless you richly as you do so. I'll leave the floor now for God's servant to give his closing remarks as bless us for the week.
I want to go back to this phrase, because man is very troubling. Man is very unguided. A man likes to blame people for their own responsibilities that they don't carry out. And if you keep doing that, you are empowering people. You know, sometimes Empowerment is not really what you say, it's what you do. Let us stop empowering people around us. We make people so powerful without knowing. There are things you are supposed to do. And if you don't do them, don't blame people for the mistakes about it. Because the errors you see are products of your negligence to handle things around you. And one of the problems of man today is that we are not handling things, but we are accusing people for things going wrong. I'll give an example. This is light. There's a socket for it. And the light starts malfunctioning. And on and off, on and off, on and on and off. You now say the problem is the socket. Is it the socket problem? The owner of the house is the problem. Because that thing is malfunctioning. You are supposed to solve it. And a lot of families, a lot of business places, a lot of students, a lot of ministries, they are blaming the people for lack of growth. The man is blaming his wife. The wife is blaming the man. The children are blaming their parents. Parents are blaming their children. The pastor is blaming the members. The members are blaming the pastor. And if you check clearly, the day we start taking responsibility of what we are supposed to do, there will be less excuses to give. And there will be less blame. And you need to do well for yourself. And you want to do well, then start taking responsibility. This is my job. This is what I was supposed to do. I will give the best that I can in it. I will not be reminded. I will not be pushed. I will not be forced. If it takes me 6 hours, if it takes me 20 hours, if it takes my sleep. But the truth is simple. I will not allow any man to be blamed for what I didn't do right. The day you start thinking and talking like that, you will discover there will be nothing that you will not solve. Just put yourself to tell. There will be nothing you cannot solve in this life. Because you have taken a decision to bring out the best from your inside. And let me tell you something you don't know. The more you start blaming yourself, the better you grow. The more you start accusing people, the lesser you grow. So this thing about growing in anything you do is solely at your custody. So if I stop blaming you, I would look at what to do to grow what I do. If I keep blaming you, I will just be pushing the button to you all the time. No, it's not me now. It's not me now. It's Silas. As I do that, I will begin to get lazy, complacent, uncontrolling. And when you live like that, you have no targets, you have no vision, and you have no growth. Because growth responds to acceptability, responsibility, and quick responses. And that's the three things that make something works. And today you don't have it in people anymore. So these are the traps that we must deal with and take the paths that will always see that in 1 month something has progressed. In 6 months it has progressed. Because everything was meant to grow. There was nothing created by God that was meant to be stagnant. If anything is stagnant, it's man that is making it stagnant. Even the devil does not stagnant things. Those who are in evil groups, they are not progressing. Man is the reason why things are not working for him. So the day you start thinking the way I'm thinking, we will do so much with our lives and come out outstandingly successful. I pray for you, you understand that God is able, but you must be responsible. Have a blessed week.
Sir.
When things are not working, man is not working. But behind everything working is someone who is working. These are wisdom words by God's servant, said some time ago on this platform. Now please, if you are in the city of Abuja, God's servant will be in Abuja on the 24th and the 25th of February 2026. So please, you don't have to be a member of our church. You just want to be someone who wants to succeed and progress in life. Then this meeting is also for you. Call the numbers on the screen and the advert will play just after the end of this episode for you to get more details and register to be on the platform. Remember, it's for everyone in the city of Abuja, FCT around Wuse to Abuja, and God's servant will be glad to sit with you and also have a words of counsel and words of wisdom. So what we enjoy here, you will get for free, one-on-one, without restrictions. So God bless you as you do so. Remember, life is beautiful, and you, my friend, can handle it. We'll see you on Friday when Gospel Manager returns at 8 a.m. God bless you.
Join us this Thursday for our Superior Communications Service, Thursday, 12th February 2026. At 4:30 p.m., expect praises that lift your spirit, prayers that shift atmospheres, and worship that draws you deeper into God's presence. And when the word is released, come ready to believe. Because breakthroughs follow faith. Don't come alone. Invite someone.
Life is shaped by the counsel we receive and the choices we make. If you are navigating critical decisions around your profession, career, marriage, relationships, or purpose, whether as a youth, a single person, or a married couple, this is a moment designed for you. The Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe engagement meetings offer a rare and intimate opportunity for one-on-one engagement with God's servant. A sacred space to sit, open your heart, and receive timely, tailored, and destiny-altering counsel on matters of life, leadership, character, relationships, career direction, and spiritual growth. This February 2026, under the prophetic theme, Character and Choice Management, wisdom will be dispensed for alignment, stability, and elevation. Tuesday 24th and Wednesday 25th February 2026, WOOS 2 FCT, Abuja. Registration is now open. To register and secure a session, please call +2347067448803 +2349047533019. Your clarity, direction, and next level may not require another year, just one inspired conversation. Life is shaped by the counsel we receive and the choices we make. If you are navigating critical decisions around your profession, career, marriage, relationships, or purpose, whether as a youth, a single person, or a married couple, this is a moment designed for you. The Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe engagement meetings offer a rare and intimate opportunity for one-on-one engagement with God's servant. A sacred space to sit, open your heart, and receive timely, tailored, and destiny-altering counsel on matters of life, leadership, character, relationships, career direction, and spiritual growth. This February 2026, under the prophetic theme, Character and Choice Management, wisdom will be dispensed for alignment, stability, and elevation. Tuesday 24th and Wednesday 25th February 2026, WOOS 2 FCT, Abuja. Registration is now open. To register